Another way of phrasing the same question is to ask, why are there so many Ashkenazi Jews? In the mid-17th century, Sephardim outnumbered Ashkenazim 3-2, but by 1931 Ashkenazi Jews accounted for nearly 92% of world Jewry. The proportion is now 75%, mainly due to the Holocaust. The Sephardic population during this period did not decrease. Rather, the Ashkenazi population grew massively, from approximately 750,000 in 1765 to approximately 6 million at the end of the 19th century. This was beyond the rate of increase of the general population, and often took place in countries where Jews faced severe persecution. I'm not sure of the full explanation of Ashkenazi population growth during this period, but would guess that it includes the overall European population growth due to the agricultural and industrial revolutions, which significantly increased the life expectancy of children. Between 1700 and 1900, Europe's population quadrupled. The various Ashkenazi migrations that took place as a direct result of persecution. For example, there are currently millions of Ashkenazi Jews in the Americas. I believe that the Ashkenazi population during that period was also poorer and more rural than the Sephardim. Certainly this was true in Europe, which may have also resulted in higher birth rates. In response to Mark Levinson's querying of the 2 million figure, the question is using the word Sephardic in the traditional ethnic sense, not in the modern Israeli sense, which also include Mizrahi Jews and other ethnically distinct groups, who mostly use the Sephardic style of liturgy, Nusach. They're not really fewer Sephardic Jews than Ashkenazi Jews. But there's been a concerted effort to erase their identity. The original Sephardic Jews are the Jews of Spain, who fled to Portugal during the Spanish Inquisition for fear of being persecuted as heretics to the Christian faith. The Pope enacted the papal bull, Dum Diversa, authorizing perpetual slavery of heretics. Once in Portugal, King John gave them an ultimatum to convert to Christianity, leave Portugal, or forfeit their wealth, property and children and be enslaved. They chose to leave, but then the king closed all exits except the port at Lisbon, forcing Jews to waste time reaching the port, so they were enslaved anyway, with their children taken to West Africa to work in sugar plantations. The Portuguese that dwelled on the island informed the Netherlanders that few lived above 50 years there, yet notwithstanding the great gain tempted them to tarry, several of them having 200 or 300 Negroes that worked in the sugar mills. That John III, King of Portugal, sent a colony thither above 200 years before, whom through the unwholesome air destroyed, yet the place was not left desolate, for he sent new inhabitants, who first settled in Guinea, next in Angola, and lastly on the island of St. Thomas, West African territory, that so they might be the better used to the air, that the said king sold all those Jews for slaves that refused to embrace the Roman religion, and caused their children to be baptized, from whom, coming thither in great numbers, most of the present inhabitants were descended. There may be more than people think. They aren't called crypto-Jews for nothing. I am studying this after discovering that I might be a Sephardic Jew. Sephardic Jews were forced off of the Iberian Peninsula. Many left the Iberian Peninsula in what is known as the Sephardic diaspora. In the case of my family, it appears that they stayed and hid themselves in plain sight. As time passed, people converted to Catholicism, known unkindly as Marranos. All of this is kind of preliminary, although there is a big clue hiding in my family's customs that makes me think it is all true. It's weird to find out that my grandmother's name Vasquez has been for centuries tracked by the Holy Office of the Catholic Church as a Sephardic name. On my grandfather's side there are reasons for suspicion. Also, my DNA has a number of suspicious markers. By the way, there is not yet a comprehensive DNA test for Sephardic heritage. I really don't know how to feel about all of this. I guess what I'm saying is that there are far more Sephardic Jews than people think. It's just that they don't know who they are. Until there is a good DNA test, we won't know truly how many there are. Well, for starters, there are probably more like 5 million Sephardim. But I think part of the reason may be the mass migrations out of the crumbling Ottoman Empire in the mid-1800s into Poland and Hungary. Jews from North Africa in the cotton business moved to Lodz, Poland after the French came to North Africa. Jews from Turkey and Italy migrated to Hungary. There was a Syrian community in Tata, Hungary in the 1840s. Other Sephardim left the Ottoman Empire for Cuba, Venezuela, the USA. After 100 years or so, the descendants of these people consider themselves Ashkenazim, but DNA tests show that Ashkenazim and Syrian and Lebanese Jews are very closely related. There is no record of mass migrations of Ashkenazi Jews to Syria and Lebanon. This is why you often find Ashkenazim named Ziza, from the Arabic Aziza meaning sweet, Reina, Ladino for queen, Schwartz, black apple, Apulia, a town in Italy not pronounced the way it looks, Rapoport or Alporto, means the Portuguese Fekit black, Hinda, North African dialect for deer, Beniowitz son of Bengio, etc. You also find that Chassidum pray, Nusak es Fard, literally the Spanish custom, and German Jews wait 4 hours between meat and dairy like North Africans.